Pennies into Pearls, and on today's video I want to show you guys how to order your own photos as engineer prints. I've used them in so many different home decor and party decorations. I wanted to show you guys how you can order them yourself. If you're interested in finding out, then you're going to want to make sure and stay tuned. Welcome back, guys. I'm Brittany from Pennies into Pearls, and this is where I talk all about dreaming big, living beautiful on any budget. If that sounds like something that might interest you, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. So let's start talking about engineer prints. If you don't know what they are, contractors go to companies like Staples or Office Depot and they order out those big blueprints or engineer prints for their projects at work. But did you know that you can order black and white prints as an engineer print for so cheap? So you can blow up a picture for like 3 feet by 2 feet and get it printed in black and white for only $2 or less. I've used them in so many different projects. I've used them for my son's birthday party decorations. I use them all over my house. I made this really beautiful DIY photo canvas that hangs over our piano now. I use them for all sorts of party decorations, and I want to show you guys how simple, how easy it is to order these online. You can't just upload any picture. You have to make sure that it's the right size so it doesn't get pixelated when it gets blown up so large. So there's a few little tips that I want to share with you guys to make sure that you guys order it the right way so you can get started on your own beautiful projects. So why don't you come on with me over to the computer and I'm going to show you guys how to get started.
Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do is you need a picture that you are wanting to blow up into a large black and white print. So find your picture. This is the one I want to use of our cute little guy playing with the well. Anyways, get your picture and save it somewhere that's easily accessible. And then you're ready to start editing your photo. To edit all of my photos, my go-to free photo editing program that I like to use is online, and it is called PicMonkey.com. I'm sure some of you might have heard of it, but if not, let me just take you on a quick little walkthrough on this awesome program. Like I said, it's completely free. They do have an upgrade called their Royal membership, and it's only a couple dollars a month, but you can also sign up for a free trial by just clicking here. Of course, I'm going to have links to all of this stuff down below, so don't you worry about that. PicMonkey has all sorts of different options on how to like touch up pictures, design your own, do collages, but what we're focusing on today is editing photos, so you can grab from your computer, Facebook, Dropbox, you know, anywhere. Pretty handy dandy. Mine's on my computer. And this is the reason I like to put it on my desktop, because it makes it super easy to find. So there it is, and then you hit open, but I already have this going. Okay. So once you've selected your photo, it's going to pull up and your screen is going to look like this. The first thing I want to do when I am getting ready for engineer prints, since they are going to show up in black and white, it's nice to know what to expect. So I click on this little magical wand over here on the left, and then it's going to look like this. So you scroll down a little bit. There's all sorts of different preset filters to edit your photo. If it has a crown on it, that means you can access that tool with the Royal membership. And again, there's the free trial up there if you're interested, but we are going to go down here and just use black and white, and it's going to automatically change it to black and white. There's so many different fun features in here, like this paintbrush that it's talking about. You can edit and like color out, like if you were going to do a colored print somewhere. See how cool that is? Anyways, black and white, that's all we want. So you hit black and white, and I'm like, yes, that looks great. So you hit apply. Then we're going to go back over here. This is like the major editing where you can crop and rotate, exposure, all of these things. So let me walk you through this real quick. With the crop, when you click that, it brings up this handy dandy box, and see how it has it marked off in thirds. In photography, I by no means am an expert, but I just learned about this, where you're wanting to keep the focus of your photograph in a third of your photo. See, an upper third, middle third, left third, right third, you know, and it just keeps the photo more interesting. So we're going to crop this down. Oh, one thing I forgot to tell you guys is when we're doing these and blowing up the pictures, you're going to want to start with an image file as big as possible. So if you're taking a picture with like a handheld camera, DSLR, that is going to give you plenty of space, and even a smartphone is going to give you a large enough picture, but I just want to mention that because it's a lot easier to your picture is going to turn out a lot better if you start with a larger image and scale it down smaller. If you start small and scale larger, it's going to be really pixelated. So anyways, when we're cropping our photo, you want to hit scale photo, or maybe you don't, but I do. And I'm just going to kind of bring the focus a little bit more onto this cute little guy right there. So, and then this rotate, you can take this little cursor right here and rotate it either way if you have like an object that maybe looks a little bit off center, but I'm thinking this looks pretty good. So we're just going to leave it the way it is. Exposure, I a lot of times do the auto adjust and then move things as I see fit. So you can adjust the brightness to make your picture look a little bit brighter and the highlights to stand out a little bit more. If I do the brightness and highlights, I like to draw the shadows down a little bit darker, and then you hit apply. Colors, we're not doing colors, but there's that option for when you do. Sharpen, I love doing the sharpness just a little bit. If you start going too much on the sharpness and clarity of your picture, it starts to make it look a little bit more fake. So anyways, especially if you're using people in your photography, you don't want to go too hard on your clarity, but a little bit looks good. So we are not going to resize this quite yet. So that's all we're going to do here on PicMonkey. So you can go ahead and click save, put in your file name, and I'm going to say engineer print, and I'm going to save this to my desktop again because we're going to do one more thing with this before we're ready to mail it off to Staples or Office Depot. So now we're going to go over to another website called canva.com. Let me show you guys this. Canva.com is where we're going, and now you guys get to see a little sneak peek into some projects coming up. But anyways, the reason I like to go here, you can resize images here on PicMonkey, but what I don't like so much about PicMonkey is that it's showing your image size in pixels, which if I want a 3-foot by 2-foot image, I don't know how many pixels that is. Do you guys? I don't. Anyways, Canva is super, super user-friendly. If only PicMonkey and Canva could come together in one happy union, then that would be perfect. But anyways, this is simple enough. So we are going to use custom dimensions. And so we need to know how big of a picture we want to do. So here they have the option of doing pixels and inches, which we are going for right here. And to know how big we want to do this, we need to go over to your desired printing store. So I usually use staples.com or officedepot.com. You might want to check with any printer you have in your area to see if they do engineer prints and if they would be willing to print photos, because I know some companies charge more than they normally would for these engineer prints. But you can see here the sizes that Staples offers, and if you just go to any of these websites and search engineer prints, you'll see that their options show up really easily. So this one is an 18 by 24, and you can see it's under $2, 24 by 36, $3.60, and you can get them a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger. Even if you see these options on the website, I always call the specific store that I'm going to because sometimes they don't have the printers big enough to do their very largest size that's offered online. I usually go for the 18 by 24 and the 24 by 36. You don't have to have your photo at this full size, but it needs to fit within that. So if I was going to do a 20-inch by 18-inch image for whatever reason, I'd have to bump up to this next size because it falls within this within these parameters. Hopefully that makes sense for you guys. Anyway, so these are our different options that we can choose from, as you see. So let's go for a little bit smaller, and we're going to do an 18 by 24. And since I'm doing a horizontal image, I'm going to do 24 by 18, and then let's have that get pulled up. The reason I don't automatically start off in Canva.com is because PicMonkey has photo editing tools that Canva does not. Canva more is like a layout design, and PicMonkey is more of like a photo editing tool. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit so I can see what I'm working with. So now we're going to go over here to uploads. Upload your own image. Then we're going to find that photo that we just edited. And then you click it. You can also click and drag over to your platform that you're working with. And then we are just going to stretch this out so it fits nicely in our selected size, and you can move it around just by clicking and dragging. Make sure that there's no little white spots around the edges, and that's it. You can rename it, and then you can download it for free. Maybe you wanted to add some text over the top of your image for a party or whatever. You can add text by clicking on one of these, and then they have all sorts of different fonts that you can choose from. You can change the size of the font to make it a little bigger. You can change it to a white font, and maybe add something behind it so it pops out a little bit better. Anyways, the options for this are really endless. I'm showing you guys how to do this with a photograph since I use those a lot, but you'll see in my budget party tutorials how I create large images. All I do is I pull up the size that I want here in Canva, and then I just start designing with all of these free tools that they have, using really basic shapes and lines and things like that. So anyways, so that is the major part of getting your engineer print ready for uploading to get an engineer print done. So the next thing you want to do is call up your local printing store of preference, and you ask them what's the best way to get your image over to them. I usually end up emailing them. And in your email, you want to be clear that you're ordering it as an engineer print. Be clear on what size you want, if you want it 24 by 18 or whatever, and how many different copies you want. And then that's it. You'll go into the store and pick it up. Hopefully this tutorial was helpful for you guys, and I would love to see your projects that you come up with. So make sure to tag me on Instagram and have fun using your engineer prints. I will talk to you guys later. Bye!